Coming up on 5 Minute News. Fauci says US may see surge upon surge of virus in weeks ahead. Tigray forces claim to have shot down Ethiopian plane. And Biden names all-female communications team. It's Monday, November 30. I'm Anthony Davis. The nation's top infectious disease expert said on Sunday the US may see surge upon surge of the coronavirus in the weeks after Thanksgiving, and he does not expect current recommendations around social distancing to be relaxed before Christmas. Meanwhile, in a major reversal, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said the nation's largest school system will reopen to in-person learning and increase the number of days a week many children attend class. The announcement came just 11 days after the Democratic mayor said schools would shut down because of rising COVID-19 cases. "We feel confident that we can keep schools safe," he said. Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, said the level of infection in the US would not all of a sudden turn around. So clearly, in the next few weeks, we're going to have the same sort of thing, and perhaps even 2 or 3 weeks down the line, we may see a surge upon a surge. The number of new COVID-19 cases reported in the United States topped 200,000 for the first time on Friday. Since January, when the first infections were reported, the nation's total number of cases has surpassed 13 million. More than 265,000 people have died, more than any other country on the planet. Fauci said the arrival of vaccines offers a light at the end of the tunnel. This coming week, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices will meet with the CDC to discuss a rollout of the vaccine. Contrary to Donald Trump's claims, the military will not be involved. Fauci added that President-elect Joe Biden should focus on distributing vaccines in an efficient and equitable way. Fauci also said he planned to push the new administration for a rigorous testing program. Many countries across the world are seeing counter-protests against mandatory lockdowns. Authorities are concerned that these people, many of whom believe the virus is a hoax, will also be the hardest to convince to get vaccinated. Rebellious forces from Ethiopia's northern region of Tigray said they had shot down a military plane and retaken a town from the federal forces on Sunday as war dragged on a day after the government announced its military offensive was over. There was no immediate comment from the government or the military on the claims made by the leader of the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Claims from all sides are difficult to verify, since phone and internet links to Tigray have been down and access tightly controlled since the conflict began on November 4th. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government has been trying to quell a rebellion by the TPLF, a powerful ethnically based party that dominated the central government for nearly 3 decades until Abiy came to power in 2018. Thousands of people are believed to have been killed since the fighting began. Nearly 44,000 have fled to neighbouring Sudan, and there are reports of militias targeting civilians. The conflict has been a major test for Abiy, a leader who pledged to unite the myriad ethnic groups that make up Ethiopia's 115 million population, but who has faced repeated bouts of violence across the country. The flow of refugees and rocket attacks by the TPLF on neighbouring Eritrea also threaten to destabilise the wider Horn of Africa region. President-elect Joe Biden on Sunday named 7 women to key communications roles in his incoming White House. His transition team says it's the first time in history that the positions will be filled entirely by women, naming former Obama State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki as his White House press secretary and campaign spokeswoman Kate Bedingfield as communications director. Senior advisor to the Biden-Harris campaign, Simone Sanders, will be Vice President-elect Kamala Harris's chief spokeswoman, and Biden's former press secretary as vice president, Elizabeth Alexander, will be First Lady-to-be Jill Biden's communications director. Biden said these qualified, experienced communicators bring diverse perspectives to their work and a shared commitment to building this country back better. Senior campaign advisors Karine Jean-Pierre and Ashley Etienne, also a former senior advisor to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, will serve as Deputy White House Press Secretary and Communications Director for the Vice President, respectively, and Pili Tobar, former Hispanic Media Director for Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, will serve as Deputy Communications Director. Psaki said on Twitter that the communications team is the most diverse team in history, and also 6 mums of young kids. President-elect Joe Biden plans to nominate Center for American Progress Chief Executive Neera Tanden as Director of the Office of Management and Budget, and economist Cecilia Rouse as Chair of the Council of Economic Advisers. Jared Bernstein, one of Biden's closest aides, served as his chief economic advisor as Biden and Barack Obama fought to pull the United States out of the Great Recession. Just like Obama did in 2009, Biden will inherit a struggling economy facing serious near-term challenges. You can subscribe to 5-Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5-Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate, and review online at 5minute.news. 5-Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health, and climate, delivering independent, unbiased, and essential world news daily.